going to step down. Leader Schumer said it was good of him to step down as chair of the Foreign Relations Committee, a position he's accused of abusing. But Menendez says despite stepping down from that position, he's not leaving the Senate anytime soon. He's up for re-election in 2024.
Prosecutors accuse Menendez of accepting bribes in exchange for his influence to help wealthy businessmen. Travis King, the U.S. service member who crossed into North Korea this summer, is back in U.S. custody. North Koreans released King after assistance from Sweden and China. ABC's Louis Martinez has more.
The Pentagon announcing that they are grateful for the work that they provided to the United States in securing his release by Sweden and the People's Republic of China. The United States does not have diplomatic relations with North Korea, so therefore we rely on Sweden to be what is called our protecting power.
He'll be sent to an Army base in Texas. 7 Republican presidential hopefuls will face off tonight at the Reagan Library in California for the second GOP debate. But former President Trump, still the frontrunner, won't be there. This is ABC News.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. Or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
The longest flight in U.S. space history is over for one American astronaut.
It was supposed to be a 6-month mission, but it was more than a year between when astronaut Frank Rubio lifted off and when he landed back on Earth in Kazakhstan on Wednesday morning.
Undocking confirmed. Physical separation confirmed.
That was the sound of the Soyuz spacecraft unlocking from the International Space Station. It had a coolant leak that required a replacement craft being sent up. That's what caused the delay. NASA's Rubio spent 371 days in orbit studying a lot of things, including how spaceflight affects the human body, both physically and psychologically. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Officials at the British Museum are asking for the public's help to find hundreds of stolen artifacts. Last month, a longtime employee was fired after officials say he smuggled nearly 2,000 items out of the museum over a period of time. The pieces are mostly Greek and Roman gems and jewelry. So far, at least 60 items have been returned. I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another action-packed week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. Last week, the Raiders used 4 full quarters of offense on their way to another victory over the Polka Dots, 48-19, running their record to 5-0 on the season. This week, the Raiders hit the road for the first time in 4 games as they make the short trip on Route 33 over to Ripley High School to face the Vikings. Raider football is brought to you all season long by these supporting sponsors: Penna's Barbershop, Roane General Hospital, McIntosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law, PLLC, APS Air Production and Service Inc., Old Fences Realty, Stats Pharmacy, Richard's Lawn and Garden, Miller's Suds and Sales, Anita Harold Ashley for Circuit Judge, Phoenix Nutrition, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Filter Supply, Family Health Care, Groves Auto, or Depew Realty, Norman L. Daniels, State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, Josh Downey for Circuit Judge, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Minnie Hamilton Health System, Boca Valley Bank, Spencer McDonald's, INS Intelligent Network Security, Ridgetop Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, Spencer Pizza Hut, Kirby Insurance, Philip Deaver for Roane County Sheriff, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pregame coverage begins at 7:05 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. right here on your sports leader WVRC 104.7 FM.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I sound like a NASCAR person who's getting ready to start the engines, I suppose. This is Drew Miller, and I was joined by my partner, John Penna, the barber himself. I think that's what I'm going to start calling him while he is out on a phone call. The barber of Spencerville, as we're getting ready for episode 6 of the Raider Review. John, did you take care of business, buddy?
TCB, baby. Going to get to wrestle this weekend.
That's fantastic. Chance for Tyson to go up to Morgantown, I hear.
Yep. So Dan Felix, they have a Felix duel. So that'll be Saturday, Sunday in Morgantown. So he gets an opportunity to go up there and wrestle on the Felix. It's the Felix Duels tournament. So some kids from Woodrow Wilson, Ravenswood, Braxton, St. Albans, a couple kids from Kentucky. So a pretty good team he's going to be able to wrestle on. I guess the guy that they were trying to get to that weight class just couldn't get there. So good friend of mine, Sarah McAfee, she shot me a message and asked if Tyson was around that weight, and I said yep. So he gets to go wrestle.
A young man has wrestled quite a bit in the off season this year.
He's done a little bit.
Yeah, and getting himself prepared for, as hard as this is to say, a senior season of wrestling for the Raiders. Yeah, crazy stuff. But that's pretty cool that he gets a chance to go up there and continue to prep himself for the season that's upcoming relatively soon. Very exciting for us coming up as a station. I believe, John, we're going to try to broadcast as many wrestling meets as we can get done. We've got some equipment and we've got some cables that we can run, and we're going to try to get a 3-mat system with our camera setups, and hopefully we can get that done. And, I don't know a lot of people in West Virginia that do broadcast wrestling.
I'm not aware of anybody. I've seen some YouTube stuff because as you're wrestling through the season, you want to try to see if you can find some of your opponent's videos online. But you don't see people broadcasting the matches. You'll see some just random videos of guys, on YouTube. But, yeah, other than that.
West Virginia University does, maybe a couple of other colleges, but we may be trying to corner a market that hasn't been bred yet. See what we can do, folks, so stick around for that. Lots to talk about once again, as per usual here tonight. Lots of sports. Let's get it started immediately with a very good Spencer Middle School football team.
Yeah.
Who had a great homecoming night last Wednesday.
Right. 3-1 on the season right now. Looks at Javon Letourneau doing what he does. 8 carries, 174 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Cody Howard had 5 carries for 31. Wyatt Brabham, 4 carries for 8. Logan Wilson, 2 for 11. Braden Tolley, 5 for 44 yards and a touchdown. These guys are firing, playing pretty well. I believe they play South Harrison tomorrow.
I think that's right.
Yeah, South Harrison tomorrow. think that's at South Harrison.
Believe so.
Yeah. So no Calhoun on the schedule this year.
Yeah.
They're going to South Harrison.
Calhoun County got a group of A-teamers right now that are very talented and going to be watching them as they come up for the next couple of years. Hopefully that will be a game that comes back on the schedule. Anybody know anything, Coach Burdett, do you know anything about the future Raiders Bowl this year? Dates, anything about that yet as far as Walton and Spencer are concerned?
Spencer plays Clay next week. The week after is the Spencer-Walton.
Never mind, Coach Burdett. I don't care what you have to say. John Penna figured that out.
I asked today.
I don't know. I was about to say exactly what John said.
Are they playing on Wednesday or Thursday?
Yes.
They're playing both days.
They're playing Wednesday and Thursday next week. It'll be a grudge
match.
Home
tomorrow. Candy Howard, thank you for the update.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Appreciate that. So a home game tomorrow for Spencer Middle School. Would love our good, fun Walton fans to help us out with some Walton statistics, with some Walton updates on scores and things like that. We could really use that here on the show.
Not only that,
I suppose I could call Amy in the morning, who is part of the Boosters Club out at Walton and has a son who plays for them.
I think you're slacking there.
Probably on me.
It would be nice to get Little Raiders stats as well.
Yeah, we would love it. Every year we try our best to promote everything that we can promote, and it requires information. So hopefully people out there can give us some information. We're more than happy to take it if you want to send it to us in email fashion at contact@wvrcfm.com. You can fax it if that's still a thing. We have a fax. Fax number 304-927-2877. Or if you're watching right now on our YouTube or on our Facebook streams, I have both of the chat boxes pulled up. And you can ask questions or you can help us with information on the chat box. Or, as John Penna said, everybody probably has his phone number. So
I don't.
It's on purpose.
Whose?
Yours.
Oh.
You are the barber. That's your nickname, by the way. I gave it to you while you were on the phone. You can't take it back now.
Anybody fax anymore?
I have some faxes that still show up here at the station. Now, it's not frequent, but it's still there.
It's like 90s technology, right?
We still have it.
90s. You got a fax.
You were in the know. Yeah. You had some money if you were faxing back then.
To me.
Facsimile. Want to say hi to everybody who is watching us on our streams. Bootmaker, our buddy Joe Boots Blosser. Raider time, he says. Coach Burdett, your wife, tuning in from Braxton County. I've got that pulled up, by the way. I got to thank Dan Harlan again. I won't cry this time when I thank him, as I did during the softball banquet last year. But Dan Harlan, he is a busy human being. Luckily for he and Sarah, they finally have two kids at the same level and in the same sport. So both Piper and Joplin are now a part of the Roane County High School Lady Raider volleyball team. So Dan does a lot of streaming of his own, and I've got his stream pulled up right now. He did let me know that the JV team for Roane County defeated Braxton County in straight sets. Right now, if you go to Dan's Facebook page, he is live, and I'm watching currently the Lady Raiders and Braxton County in varsity action. They're in set number 1. Roane County leading Braxton County at the moment 23-14 in set number 1. So appreciate Dan Harlan for being live on that. Angie says hello. Donna Mae, who's just a stone's throw away on the other mountaintop in between the little valley. Brogan is watching. Anything you want me to tell Brogan? Get your homework or something like that?
I hope he's got all his work done.
Brogan, your dad says you better have all your work done, buddy. Speaking of Lady Raider volleyball action, they only had one between last week's show and this week's show, and they only needed one.
A light week.
Well, they only needed one after 12 matches in 7 days. How about that? A match on Thursday, 9 on Saturday, and another one on Tuesday, and another one on Thursday. Well, we talked about all of the other ones last Wednesday, except for the Thursday one, and that was a dandy. Coach Burdett, you were there late for that one, but you got to watch Roane County and Clay County in the volleyball version of this rivalry, and it was spectacular. Roane County ran away with the first set in that best-of-5 series by a score of 25-12, and that was it. After that, it was a dog fight. It went the full 5 sets, and Roane County won the race to 15 in the end. And Roane County gets a 3-2 victory over Clay County. And every single set after the first one came down to the wire. It was so much fun to watch those two teams battle it out. And Roane County gets the victory in that one, so they improved to 11-9-4 on the season. And they just finished up, by the way, set number 1 at Braxton County. Roane County takes set 1, 25-15. Loving the graphics that Dan can provide here. He just pulled up 3 Lady Raider players and had their stats pulled up. I'm not sure what the name. I think it's sideline.com that he's using, and it's a streaming service that he can utilize the stat part from his phone. And so he's just sitting in the crowd while his streaming stuff is going on, and John, he's just on his phone adding scores and stuff.
Dan's the man, you know. he knows a lot more about the that kind of stuff than we do. I know that for sure. I can barely remember passwords.
That's another reason John is not allowed to pay bills at the house.
No.
Kristen pays the bills because she knows all of the online passwords.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start.
I wouldn't know either, John. I still write checks. People call me a dinosaur, Coach Burdett, but I still write checks for things.
I write checks all the time.
It's okay.
All my farm stuff is checks.
Well,
I rarely use a debit card for farm stuff.
Well, good. I don't feel so bad then.
And do you keep your check register?
Yeah. Why even have it at the back of your checkbook if you're not going to utilize it? How are you going to know what you have?
Everything I write. Everything on the phone.
You know, of course, I've got the online app that I could check, but,
Sure.
You know, once you start doing something, Coach, when we learned that in like 6th grade, how to write checks and keep checkbooks and accounts, and, well, it just never went away for me.
Never started for me.
John knew from a young age that he was going to marry somebody who took care of all of that.
No, I always lived by the Randy Moss code. Straight cash, homie.
That's why when John and Kristen were getting ready to do an addition on the house, it got a little squirrely because John has no credit. He had to get a credit card just to get credit.
Listen, straight cash. Straight cash.
I will say, though, John, that since you have had some credit, you have great credit.
I mean, it's
volatile.
It's doing well.
But I also have never had a credit card.
Okay. Now, I have. So Angie says that's what online banking is for.
Right. Well, she's the polar opposite of me, see. I didn't say our personal finances were run by me. But the farm, yes, and I do it my way.
Walton actually playing tonight.
Wednesdays. Spencer typically plays.
Or what's that? It says so. Brandy Reed Gentry updating us said information coming from Andrea Hayes, Calhoun 18, Walton 0, second quarter. So I assume that Walton is playing tonight against Calhoun County. So thank you, Brandy, for the updates. Keep them coming throughout this show. And again, we're still watching. I love technology. Even though I just talked about being a dinosaur, I love technology when it comes to sports, guys. When it comes to local sports, I'm sitting here. I have YouTube and Facebook both up. I'm getting information from both sides from people who are at different games. I'm also watching right now live coverage of Lady Raider volleyball. They're into the second set, leading 2-0 over Braxton County. Man, You're getting updates about Devontae Adams maybe heading to Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's true. We've got $50 million in cap. And
They need
just
all the help they
think
can get
back.
up there.
Think back.
But they got to have a quarterback to get the ball. Watson's washed up. Watson.
I don't know.
Washed up Watson.
Listen,
I don't even
Trent
watch NFL,
Dilfer.
so it don't matter.
Trent Dilfer steadied the ship, and
Is Dilfer coming back?
I mean, I wouldn't put it.
All I know, Coach Burdett, is you look at Deshaun Watson during that Steelers game, and his eyes looked like a straight deer in the headlights.
Yes.
Looked like he was not feeling too well about life.
Back in the day, they call it worst.
Washed up.
Washed up.
Well, then the next week he goes out and 27 for 33, 289, 2 tutties.
Yeah, but they were playing
Number
the
one
18.
defense. Dude, we were playing Pittsburgh. They are horrible.
I will give you credit. Well, I'll give your team credit, John.
Thank you.
The defense is the real deal,
Well,
I
they're
think.
so
I
good.
think the defense is
So
good.
good. So good.
5-0, by the way, Braxton County trailing our Lady Raiders in set 2. Roane County won set 1, 25-15.
Get 3 in
So
a
we're
row,
watching that. Yes, 3 in a row. Get on the road and get home, as Burdett says.
In a row, and come on home.
Speaking of just wonderful sports, how about the Roane County golf team? I mentioned something last week, and it got a lot of responses on the station's Facebook page. I said there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and the Raider golf team heading to the state tournament, which they are. Once again, we have been talking about this since the beginning of the year. They're getting better and better and better each week. They are starting to consistently shoot in the low to mid 40s for 9 holes, 80s to 90s in the 18-hole format. But they went to the regional competition this past couple of days, John, and got it done once again.
Yeah. So we talked about it. Those guys hit the stride at the right time, and here they go again.
Speaking of 80s music, there was a great song that included a beautiful woman named Tawny Katane.
Oh,
And it was Here I Go Again on My Own.
yes.
Our trivia question, you must answer on Facebook, Jim Dean. Facebook, who sang Here I Go Again on My Own. Phoenix Nutrition Drink coming to the winner. I still owe Allie Peary a drink. I apologize. And I owe Angie Walker a drink. Neither of them have gotten it. But I do have those available. Don't worry. I'm going to get a hold of Matt Queen, and he'll make sure to have it available to the winner. First person that correctly identifies, Here I Go Again on My Own. Almost sang it.
I watched the video. I mean, the video is going right now in my head.
Yeah. So the first person to correctly identify that, who do we got? Jason Potter. Jason, I don't know if you can make it here for a drink, but you are correct. White Snake. White Snake with Here I Go Again on My Own. Debbie Runyon, you were so close, and autocorrect got you.
Oh.
It says Whites and.
Oh. Debbie, I'm with you.
Well, Jason, if you're not in the local area for a Phoenix Nutrition Drink, I don't think I can ship it to you, buddy. But you can donate it to somebody if you would like. That's fine. Anyway, speaking of the Raider golf team, they went to, and I tell you what, I don't know whose idea this was, whose cruel, twisted idea it was to hold. Twisted.
Music bad.
We're
Sorry,
down
Drew.
the path.
It's okay.
We're not coming back.
Coach Burdett
That's why I don't come in until 7:30.
Yeah. Because he's listening to Twisted Sister out in the truck.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to take it anymore.
There you go.
Whoever's cruel, twisted plan it was to host a regional at Stonewall.
Yeah.
One of the hardest courses in West
a little
Virginia.
tough.
Yeah, Bob.
It's a very narrow course as far as fairways are concerned. The rough is terrible. It's a windy, up and down, twisted sideways lies. Greens, 14 on the step meter. Whose idea was it to do it there?
I don't know if Bob Zdenek and I talked about it this morning some. But, our guys had to play it. Everybody else had to play it, and we qualified, baby.
And it was a close one. One of the things, if you see these scores, people are going to say, ugh, well, obviously weak teams coming out of this region. Well, when you look at the course that was played, Stonewall is you've been there, Coach, right?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I have attempted.
Once.
Yeah, I have attempted that course a few times.
The last time I played there, I think they had dropped the lake by about 6 inches because they had watered the fairways on 1 and 2 so much. Like, I hit a drive, which doesn't happen often, straight down the fairway, and it hit, and I thought, man, that's a chip and a birdie shot. The ball was somewhere around 7 inches deep in the middle of the. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I mean, it landed
right
so
in the
I don't
fairway.
know if it was wet or dry when they went up there, but
soggy.
It doesn't matter. That course is a nightmare.
It is a tough course, but beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
One of the interesting things that I read about with Jim Cooper's article, of the 28 golfers in the field, only 8 broke 100.
Wow.
That's how hard that course was. It was not an easy course. So when you see Roane County with both Luke Hall and Jaden Webb shooting 94, people are probably going to be like, oh, 94, well, they're one of 8 people that did it.
Yeah.
And the other 2 for Roane County with the scores that counted were Darren Raines with a 105, Cody Nichols with a 102. Elkins wins the whole region at a total of 277. Roane County just 13 strokes back of that. So when you break that down between 4 golfers, Roane County very close to a championship in the region, but the battle was for second place. Roane County 290, Robert C. Byrd 291. Ooh. Roane County qualifies by 1 stroke over Robert C. Byrd.
Me and Boo and Swobie and Swobie's attorney at law played at the course over at the country club a couple weeks ago. It was at 96 to 97. They got us by 1.
The Swobie squared beat you guys? Oh, man.
Yeah. 2, we were terrible on 2. Now, I had a great putt on 2, but we just couldn't get it up the hill.
Question is, how much bragging did Jeremy do?
Not much. He was really Justin hit a really nice shot on 6, and that's kind of what took the lead. Because they were up big on us first in the first 9, I think by 3 or something like that, and then we came back, was up, and then they ended up beating us by 1.
But did you finish with the same amount of balls that you hit?
We came out better.
Doesn't matter who won then.
Boo got one of the things. Yeah.
The ball retrievers. Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's a game changer.
That's a must for anybody who can't play golf and tries.
He was so excited. He's like, look what I got, fellas, and I'm like, oh, great. Now I did lose a couple because, they stuck in the side of the hill, and we just couldn't dig them out. It was just a little bit too.
A couple of responses. Jason Potter, who won with White Snake, the correct guess. He's in Florida. So He said, you pick. So I'll give John, you get to pick who wins that this year or this week. Who he can donate that Phoenix Nutrition drink to.
Okay.
I'll let you pick on that one. Update from the Walton Middle School game. Calhoun County right now at the half, leading the Walton Tigers 26-0 in set number 2. Roane County's Lady Raiders pretty dominant at the moment, leading 16-5 in set number 2 over Braxton County, leading 1-0, best of 5 series. As Coach Burdett said, let's go ahead and get them 3 and out, and that would be nice to get Roane County victory number 12 on the season, and they're now 11-9-4. Again, Roane County, the golf team, back to the state tournaments up at Ogilvie. They'll be there next Monday and Tuesday. And, of course, we will not have a show, by the way, next Wednesday. I will be out of town. I will be down in North Carolina for about a week. And so we'll try to get the Raider golf team, as we traditionally do, back in studio with us the following Wednesday of Walnut Festival. And we'll have Coach Burdett grumbling because it's Walnut Festival week, and We've got to travel on a Friday night at the Walnut Festival to Braxton County. But anyways, that's just the way things go. That's all the updates we have for sports right now. And again, thank you all for giving us the updates that you can find for us. We'll take them every week if we can get them. I'm going to talk Roane County Raider football with Coach Paul Burdett here in just a second. Got to pay some bills. Want to thank DW Excavating, as always, our exclusive sponsor for the Raider Review.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another action-packed week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. Last week, the Raiders used 4 full quarters of offense on their way to another victory over the Polka Dots, 48-19, running their record to 5-0 on the season. This week, the Raiders hit the road for the first time in 4 games as they make the short trip on Route 33 over to Ripley High School to face the Vikings. Raider football is brought to you all season long by these supporting sponsors: Penna's Barbershop, Roane General Hospital, McIntosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law PLLC, APS Air Production and Service Inc., Old Fences Realty, Stats Pharmacy, Richard's Lawn and Garden, Miller's Suds and Sales, Anita Harold Ashley for Circuit Judge, Phoenix Nutrition, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Filter Supply, Family Health Care, Groves Auto, or Depew Realty, Norman L. Daniels, State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, Josh Downey for Circuit Judge, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Minnie Hamilton Health System, Boca Valley Bank, Spencer McDonald's, INS, Intelligent Network Security, Ridgetop Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, Spencer Pizza Hut, Kirby Insurance, Philip Deaver for Roane County Sheriff, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award, sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pregame coverage begins at 7:05 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM.
Singing some happy days off the air at the moment. We're here for the Raider Review, episode 6, and I got to respond to Boots. He said, "Can't see you, Drew." That was not by accident. I watched, in fact, John, I don't think I've ever watched a show of ours after the fact. I don't think I've ever gone back and watched a show. Well, I watched a show yesterday evening with John, and I thought, nobody wants to see my fat gut hanging out. So I made sure, on top of that, it wasn't really that, Joe. In fact, what it was that John's big cat head was covering up Coach Burdett.
Cat head biscuit.
And he didn't get any love on video. So I moved.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't worry, it does now. I moved the camera strategically to make sure that Coach Burdett's beautiful mug was on the video. And there can only be 2 of 3 of us on the camera, John, so I figured the best 2. And I can just hang out over here and make faces that nobody can see.
Wasn't wrong.
Yeah. So that's the reason you don't see me, and I hope nobody's mad about that. Our buddy Swolby, tuning in on YouTube, said, "We are the champs." Well, I said Jeremy, wondering if he would brag, but apparently it's Swolby, the one who's going to be bragging.
He hit one good shot the whole day.
One good shot, and he acts like he's Tiger Woods. So, Coach Burdett, let's talk football. First off, let's talk about your JV unit, who continues to do big things in the games that they do have. They traveled over to Polka this Monday and got themselves another win.
Yeah, sounded like a pretty good night. I think the score was 22-12. I think that's right. Coaches said that they played very physical football and did a great job against a pretty decent little JV crew from Polka. So, the more those guys get to play and the more experience they can get on the field, it's only going to help them, continue to get better and understand what we're doing and how we do things and learning, the lingo and the wordage, the verbiage. I'm very proud of them. Now, I don't know, the bad thing is next Monday is the last scheduled JV game. We were supposed to play Braxton the week after we play them, but it's not going to happen because Braxton's backed out of JV games now. And then you got Mingo and North Marion and Oak Glen, so those are not going to happen. So it looks like, unless I have been putting feelers out to try to find some other games, but I'd rather not have to travel to them because they've already, the other night was their fourth.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not, or third.
Well, they'd already hit up Lincoln County, Clay County, Poca now.
Poca. So 3 on the road, and then
Ripley at home next week. So that's
4 games. I thought they had played 5. I thought they were going to play 5 total. Either way.
Well, yeah, because Braxton.
Yeah. So, anyways, I hope I can try to find and trying to get somebody to come to play us here at home, but we'll see what happens.
Well, the JV getting the job done when the jobs are available.
So we do chains next Monday, Drew.
That is fantastic news. Plus, it's against Ripley, and their JV coaching staff is an absolute hoot. Last year, if you'll remember, was it last year or the year before?
It was the year before.
The year before, there's some old man up in the stands over on the Ripley sideline for the JV, and he is just giving it to the coaching staff, to the kids, to the officials, everything. And at one point, the JV coach looks back up in the stands and looks back, and he just shakes his head. He said, "Oh, my God, that's my dad." So that'll be fun. Hopefully we get a chance to do one set of change, John. I'll take it.
Yep.
I'll take one over none.
We need to let Matt know so he can make sure he's got the evening free.
Roane County's Lady Raiders whipping up on Braxton in set number 2, 25-12. So it is now 2 sets to 0 Roane County.
Yeah.
25-15, 25-12, and Coach Burdett is asking for 3 straight. And if they can do that, hopefully they get a big run here in this third, and hopefully they finish it off while we're still on the air so we can get the update to you all. Our good buddy Robert Blair, who is tuned in a little less frequently this year. He's a busy guy. He's all around the country usually. So he's back home in Boone County right now watching us. So appreciate you joining us, Robert Blair. Let's go back to last Friday night and the 4th and final home game in the stretch. And we talked pregame, Coach, about the improvements that Poca had made through the 4 games that they had. And you guys were, I wouldn't say on high alert, but you guys were really focused coming in. But how important is it to snatch momentum the way you guys did right off the opening kick with Lane Watson's 90-yard kick return?
I think if you could start every game out like that, you'd definitely have a major advantage. Obviously, you're up by score, but just the momentum that jumps on your side is unbelievable. When you can take the opening kickoff back, however many yards it ends up being, it's a huge deal, and it just continued to carry over. Now, Poca got the ball back on the kickoff, on the next kickoff from us, and they were snagging 3-4 yards of carry, and they got a first down, and I thought, well, here we go. It's going to be a battle, and then we shut it down, and Brandon takes a punt return back to the 1-yard line, and we got a penalty, which brought it back. We won't talk about that.
He seems less than pleased with that.
But then we were able to drive it back down the field, and then Brandon snuck in from about 9 yards out on a power play and put us up by 2 scores. And it just kind of, once that second score went in, it just seemed like we climbed and they just kind of settled, and they never really got enough going for him to really gain any type of momentum, and we just kept rolling the rest of the first half. And but I told you in the pregame that I told the guys that it was not against the rules to score more than 14 points. They could do that, and we scored 34, which was that's
very nice.
We needed something like that.
It took care of that in the first quarter with 21 in the first quarter alone. Coach, you guys have been quite methodical this year in drives, and I've really appreciated the ability that the young linemen have shown out here and given your plethora of running backs options to find holes and give those drives some significant time. But on Friday night, there was quite a few electric plays from you guys. Obviously, the kickoff from Lane Watson to start it, but you guys had two big pass plays, one to Lane, one to Coben Cottrell. You had an interception and a return for 75 yards to set you all up once again. There were a lot of electric and big chunk plays on both sides of the ball on Friday night. I enjoy seeing that out of a team who's just kind of been more methodical, at least offensively.
Yeah. We talk all the time about, being able to throw the ball when we want to throw the ball. It's just not something we do a lot of. But, the play in the second half was not, it wasn't designed to do that. We were just trying to get a first down and continue to get the clock run to the end of the third quarter. Lane catches it and turns it back inside and cuts across the field, and 40-some yards later, he scored a touchdown. I really don't like to throw when I get up on somebody. That's just not who I am and what I like to do. Just run the ball, and so, sometimes you're trying to get the game over because it's tight, and you just want to secure the win, and then sometimes you're just trying to get to where you need to get so the clock will run and you can get the other guys in and whatever. But the play to Coben, we had sent Brandon in motion and like three guys followed, and we had a play called, and when he took off and the three guys followed, we called timeout because there was three guys moving with him, and so we called timeout. We brought him over and we went the same motion, but then we ran what we call is a hem route to Coben, and nothing changed. We go back out, line up in the same thing. Brandon goes in motion, three guys move, and it's Coben one-on-one with the cornerback, who he was probably 4 to 5 inches taller than. So,
you didn't have to run. You didn't have to pass the ball. In fact, Friday night, Jacob Greathouse was 3 for 4 with 2 touchdowns and 111 yards. That's efficiency when you talk about passing the football. John, it's so much fun for us up in the booth. As you mentioned, Brandon commands a lot of respect and a lot of eyes his way. It's so nice when John and I talk about this to have 6'3" Coben Cottrell, 6'2" Lane Watson. Both are athletes. Both can leap. And if you find those moments where you can ISO those guys one-on-one, man, you can just throw it up to them.
Yeah, you're licking your chops. And Coben, being still newer to football than what Lane is. Lane's been doing those things forever, but now it's awesome to see Coben starting to do those kind of things. And Coben's just an athlete. He's played basketball, did baseball when he was younger as well. So he's just an all-around great athlete. And now to see him really clicking and finding those things about football out, things that he's used like basketball, rebounding, and high pointing, and getting up, getting up high for the ball. It's just awesome to watch, because you think about what he's done, and this is early or midway through year 2.
Yeah,
he's just a junior, so you're going to have him again next year. So
that learning curve is so steep for him, and he is conquering it very quickly.
Yeah, because we went back and watched Ripley from last night.
Mm-hmm.
I did, and that game, Ori got dinged up, so you brought him in, and he really kind of started to figure some things out. Scored a 2-point conversion in that game.
Got a sack,
had a huge sack in that game. So to see the progression so far this season, halfway through the year, just unbelievable for him.
Well, obviously, the night belonged to the Raiders. I think the nights, in some small portion as well, a large portion. It was not a coming out party for Lane Watson, but it was one of those games where Lane, it seemed like every time he touched the ball, which wasn't many because there just weren't many opportunities because of the chunk plays that he did get for us, it just seemed like he had the electric night on Friday night, no matter where he was on the field, no matter what side of the ball it was.
Yeah, he's played, he had a big night, and it was just, exactly like you said, it didn't matter where he was at. If the ball got close to him, it was, he ran through about 6 tackles on the one long run play he had, and he gets tackled down deep, and he finishes it off after a couple more runs, and we knew they were going to try to throw it deep, and so a defense that we used for prevent, we kind of got in it, and
he just played center field.
He read it. He played his half of the field. The quarterback threw the ball, and he attacked it, grabbed it, and took off, and had a big catch down next to the end zone, and then the touchdown there towards the end of the third quarter. It was just, it was Lane's night. Everything that he did worked, and it's nice for the Raiders when things like that happen.
Absolutely, it's very nice.
For me, no matter who it is, right? It's good for the Raiders.
Had 290 unofficial all-purpose yards, did Lane, and that one. I want to move real quickly though before we advance to this coming week to the defensive side again. And broken record, the defense bending but not breaking, making big plays when they need to. But I knew that coming in, the thought was this Preston Bonnet kid is an electric runner. And he showed the signs that he was an electric runner against us. I think he made an in-game change when they were trying to run off tackle, and he saw that you all knew the pursuit was coming that way, and he was cutting against back and picking up some chunks of yardage. I thought that in-game move from you guys after the fact, called a timeout and said, hey, this guy is, he's going to go against the grain, so be prepared. The assignment football was great defensively for you guys because it started to shut that back down.
Yeah, so we've seen on film several times where he'd stick his foot in the ground and just take off back the other way. And we were probably not slow feeling as good as what we should have from the backside. And, I don't know that we called a timeout for that, but I'm sure it was mentioned in one of those timeouts. And just the thing about our defense, though, guys, is and what makes it so good is just the layers. You got the front line, and everybody's got it, but ours is a little different because you got the front line, and then you got the linebackers, and then you got Brandon coming downhill from the safety position, which, sometimes he's there and getting there at the same time our linebackers are, which just adds another dimension to your linebacking core. And when you play in a 4-3, you're really in a 4-4. If you're playing a 42, you're really in a 43. So
brought him off the edge a couple of times as well.
Coach Peary had put that in, and we had practiced it, and we may have ran it once before, but several times last Friday night.
Just the natural dipping his shoulder.
Yeah, it was.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it looked in his 70s, real tall, and and Brandon just kind of hunkered down and went right under him, and just crazy pressure, and then our linebackers are playing so well, guys, and Clay and Lane both saw. It's a total team effort, and that's what makes it nice on both sides of the ball. We're getting so many people involved, and making it what it is, which is a team sport.
When I see the post-game marks on John Pennett's defensive page, it is just filled up, top to bottom. All these guys are 2, 3, 4 tackles, a fumble recovery, a pass breakup, an interception, whatever it may be. Your defense, again, varsity-wise, pitched a shutout. They did not score on our varsity defense, so that, again, gives you guys a lot of confidence continuing through the season. So we move to this coming Friday night. You go up in class to AAA for the second time this year. You got Ripley coming in to Friday night, and it's a Ripley team that have had their struggles in the last few years. Roane County's really done a good job against the Vikings the last couple of ball games, but there's always something to motivate, Coach. There's always something out there, and I think, number one, you look at just last week, Ripley hosting number 6 or 8 Oak Hill out of Class AAA, and they put a battle and a shock into the Oak Hill team and eventually losing that game, but 13-10 is a score that will perk up some ears and get some people thinking, okay, well, they're badly looking for a win. They're obviously not quitting on the season. They're still extremely motivated. And anytime a big team comes to their house, they're wanting to knock them off. And so that's where you guys are going to come in to that environment Friday.
Yeah, Jim probably gets tired of talking to me on Mondays. He he calls me and we talk each Monday, and I know, I kind of sound like a broken record, but we're never going to look past anybody. It doesn't matter what their record is or where they're from, what class they're in. It doesn't matter. Ripley's they've got a nice line on both sides of the ball. I think they got playmakers on the offensive side, the quarterback, the halfback. They're mixing up schemes between power stuff and option and play action and spread. So they're a team that played really, really well. I felt like against Oak Hill Friday night, and it was kind of like they had some extra motivation last Friday. I thought they flew around and played the ball really well, and kind of got after it on offense. And so we've prepared this week just like we would have prepared for anybody else. And we'll go over there Friday night with the same mindset that we played with last Friday night or any other Friday night that we're going to play. It's about being 1-0, and it really doesn't matter who the opponent is, what the record is, what class they're in, whatever. Ripley's a formidable opponent, and we got to be able to go play ball Friday night and win the ball game.
Simply put, if it's a AAA team. So again, if you're looking at just basic numbers in West Virginia, which is what we do because the whole system is based on numbers, it's a 12-point victory if you get that over Ripley, and it takes that plus some wins to beat a AA team. So you get Ripley on the schedule, you keep them on the schedule, and who knows, down the line they may pick up a win or two here at the end of the year, and that's only going to help you guys if you can go there and you can take care of business like you guys have been doing. Quick update again on Lady Raider volleyball, up 20-13 in set number 3, leading 2-0. Let's hope Roane County's Lady Raiders can finish this out and just have 3 sets and back home.
That was done in about 13 minutes.
I'm telling you,
7:38 when you said the last one was over.
They are rolling right now, 21-13.
Make dinner for everybody.
Yeah. Or go to Mom's and eat the dinner that she made.
There you go. Mom's still making dinner. 21-13 now, Roane County. We're just watching it as it goes. Got a message on Facebook. Michael Bloom says, does John Penna do perms?
Sure.
You don't want that. Tell me what you want. Don't call me that.
Now, there was a time when your son went permafrost there, it wasn't you that did it.
No. He went Ice Cube 92 perm.
Now listen, I'm trying to help here. For the right amount of money, John Penna would do a perm.
I would give it a try.
See? Yes. So the answer is yes.
If the price is right, Michael.
If you want that.
Hey. Absolutely.
John, just bring out your case of Soul Glow at the end of the perm. Feeling oh so silky smooth.
Follow the drip.
And then everybody for the rest of the day would walk in and be like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's so bad.
It is horrible.
It's pretty rough.
I tried to get Caleb Nichols to let me VO5 hot oil his hair last weekend.
Would have been wild.
Yeah.
He's got the hair for it right now.
He does.
Better get it while he's got it. So. Roane County up 22-15 in set number 3, leading 2-0 over Braxton County. Again, Roane County with just the one match this week. Again, coming off of last week and the previous week together, 12 matches in 7 days. They're very happy to have won this week. Get a little bit of rest, relaxation, recovery time. Speaking of recovery time, Coach, you guys got an off week next week. I know you're not thinking necessarily about that, but very important to go into an off week feeling confidence. And so you take this trip over to Ripley. Everything's back to normal as far as time is concerned, right? 7:30 kick.
7:30, yeah. Normal, regular high school football kick time.
And, Coach, it's a short trip over, which is nice. It's not a long bus ride over to Ripley. The rest of them this year are going to be a little bit rougher, but it's Braxton County's not terrible.
You got a private jet, right?
Do we? That WVRC money isn't paying for it.
Flying down to Lane's wedding instead of 2.5 hours.
So, you got a AAA team. You go over there. You guys are coming off of another good win. You've refocused yourself all week. How's practice been so far this week?
It's been fine. It's been good. Just, when you get to this part of the season, I mean, defensively, you're trying to, find tendencies and see actions in the backfield and things to try to, focus on during practice for your defense. But offensively, this time of year, it's about cleaning up and getting good at what you do and making sure that you are drawing a blank here. Make sure you are familiar with the type of defense that your opponent's running and your blocking schemes and that type of stuff. So our guys do a good job of practicing and getting themselves on track and being ready for Friday night. So, but definitely, I want to go and hopefully do what we need to do to get a win Friday night. But a much needed break some of the monotony.
Yeah,
it's been a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a grind. High school football week after week is just a grind. I like that you guys have this bye week middle of the season, basically. I think it's almost the best thing you can have, unless you've navigated and you get like the second to last week off to try to rest up for playoffs or something like that. But right now, I think it comes at a great time midway through the season. The grind has been so for these weeks. Guys, I'm sure, are bumped and bruised up, and it'd be nice to have that week to try to rest and recover and get yourselves ready for the second half of the season. Roane County finishing it off, by the way, Coach, in 3 straight sets. Roane County defeating Braxton County. So the Lady Raiders now 12-9-4. And Coach Burdett will look forward to an early trip home for Angie and Lexi and the rest of the group. Who all's over there with them? Is it just the 2 of them?
Yes.
Okay. And Brogan's at home? Or Brogan's over at...
Brogan's at Grandma's.
He's already got dinner. He's good to go. He doesn't care.
He's got dinner, and he's trying to be funny and ask John how much for a perm, and we don't have that type of cash, son.
Congratulations to the Lady Raiders for the victory. Well, Coach, it's again, we're just a couple of days away from another Friday night opportunity for Roane County. Let's flip it over. I tell you what, we have, I'm not going to jinx this, I hope. We have had some tremendous weather for this year. We've had Friday nights that normally early in September would be brutally hot and humid. We've really not had terrible weather so far as heat and humidity is concerned, at least.
No, it's been great. I mean, you think back to the Shady game where it was supposed to be crazy humid that night and just unbearable hot, but we had some rain showers come through that morning, and it was actually great for a late August night. Friday night's going to be great again. Probably low 80s on Friday. Got a cold front coming through. It's going to bring some rain tonight, tomorrow, and possibly a little bit Friday morning. But once that cold front moves through, the humidity stuff's gone, and it's just going to be nice, good, comfortable football weather, which is what we're after.
Love to see good football weather for that opportunity. Again, folks, just a reminder, we will not be on our streaming services for this game Friday night due to restrictions. Mountaintop Media, it's a really good company over in Ripley. They have exclusive rights to live streaming. So if you're looking to watch that game from the comfort of your house, you're going to need to go to Mountaintop Media, and you can find them on Facebook. They will be doing the live streaming broadcast. What we're going to do is we'll be live on the radio, 104.7, and live streaming audio on our website at WVRCFM.com. We're taking all the equipment. We're going to set it all up. We're going to record everything, and then as soon as I get home on Friday night, we're going to start it, and we're going to rotate it and get it uploaded to our YouTube and Facebook pages. And so by Saturday morning, hopefully, maybe Saturday afternoon, you guys will be able to tune into WVRC's YouTube and Facebook page if you want to rewatch the broadcast of the Ripley game. Just one of those things. It's there and it's Lewis County right now. The only two places we can't go live on streaming. Lewis County has an NFHS network contract, and plus the Big Ten charges a lot of money for streaming. And then Ripley, obviously, when we play over there. But it's all right. We'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Into the third, Walton trailing Calhoun County, by the way, in middle school action, 32-0. So tough night so far for the Tigers, but they'll be back in action again here in a couple weeks. Looking forward to the future Raiders Bowl here in a couple of weeks. Well, Coach, we wish you all the best of luck coming up this Friday night. Roane County and Ripley once again, a battle for the Rotary Trophy. And you guys already got one from this past week to put in the trophy case. Let's see if you can get another one on Friday night. That's a rotating trophy, right?
Yeah.
That goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, to the winner.
To the winner.
Stays with the winner.
True.
We've had it for a couple of years. Like to keep it.
John Penna, last words.
Spencer Middle School Wrestling Program is doing an awesome raffle right now. Opportunity to win 5 different things.
Some really cool prizes.
Yeah, awesome prizes. So check with some folks around. I've got tickets at my shop if you'd like to swing by and pick up one of those. I think it's $10 with the chance to win 5 different items.
I know Quentin at Jack Garrett Ford has tickets available.
Quentin does, and this fundraiser will help Spencer Middle School with their
bless you, Coach.
With their new singlets that they're looking to get this upcoming season. And other than that, just be ready for a short trip over to Ripley and watch our Raiders go to work again.
Absolutely. That'll do it for us here tonight on episode 6 of the Raider Review. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thanks for everybody for the updates as well. And we appreciate all the help through that. For our entire crew here, Coach Paul Burdett, John Penna, I'm Andrew Miller. Have a wonderful Wednesday night, everyone.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited